she burst onto the scene a clean-cut teen queen. But now Mandy Moore's all grown up.
I have an entourage.
With her 2003 album Coverage, she's leaving the pop princess behind and playing by her own rules.
It's so easy to sell out. It's easy to take that road. I'd rather have the challenge of doing something a little bit different and maybe a bit harder.
But being a rebel isn't always easy. For this determined 19-year-old, the pressure is intense as she follows her dreams of a crossover career.
Hurry! They're chasing us!
For the first time, Mandy reveals to VH1 what life is really like in the spotlight.
Why are people so unbelievably fascinated with this lifestyle? It makes me just feel gross and want to take a shower.
From the struggle to protect her romance with tennis heartthrob Andy Roddick.
No one needs to know what our pet names are for each other. No one needs to know where we go on vacation. That's for me and him.
To fighting off the sex sells mentality.
People push so hard for me to do that whole shocking thing because I haven't gone there yet.
And most difficult of all, the loss of her own personal anonymity.
I was at the gym the other day. I was opening my legs up and there was this camera. Why would someone do that?
One of today's brightest young stars pulls over, comes clean, and answers every question.
Enough is enough.
This is VH1 All Access Spotlight, Mandy Moore.
With me, what you see is what you get.
Mandy Moore is everywhere. From public appearances to concerts to braving the red carpet with her boyfriend, tennis phenom Andy Roddick.
I'm in love.
It seems everyone wants a piece of the fresh-faced star. Magazines want her on the cover. Radio stations need her on the air.
Mandy Moore is here in the studio. Hey, Salt Lake. What's up, Seattle?
Mandy Moore is here. Hi, Mandy.
This is Mandy Moore. Right here with Rick Dees this
is Mandy Moore. Have a little faith in me.
And the demands are only going to get more intense with her fourth album Coverage hitting the charts.
With this album, it was my project and my idea. It wasn't someone kind of leading me into the studio saying, Mandy, here are your songs. This is what you're recording. Come here, baby.
The CD's first video is the John Hyatt classic, Have a Little Faith in Me.
Have a little faith in me.
And with 3 movies in the works, this crossover artist's career is plain blowing up. And Mandy herself is growing up.
I'm happy being me, and I am going through a metamorphosis. I am changing, I am growing up, and I like it that way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As Mandy rehearses for her next performance, she's totally at ease.
Can we do Moonshadow, Senses, Faith, Drop the Pilot? That would be easier because my voice would be warmed up.
She's been preparing for fame her whole life. Mandy's a natural performer and has been practically ever since she could walk.
My first big break, I would have to say, was singing the national anthem for the Orlando Magic. Oh, see, can you see?
Well, now I look back and I'm like, I had the worst bowl haircut anyone in the history of this planet has ever had. It's the worst haircut ever. And the geekiest little black dress and little white t-shirt. I thought I was so styling.
No one was focusing on her wardrobe. It was all about her beautiful voice. Record execs took notice, and by 15, Mandy released her first album, So Real. The album went platinum in just 3 months. Suddenly, Mandy Moore was a pop princess, joining the ranks of Christina and Britney. Mandy wasn't blind to the realities of her world. She watched as her peers turned up the heat on their sexual images.
It's what's on the cover of tabloids. It's what's on the cover of every magazine.
The other women bared their ambitions and a whole lot of skin in a no-holds-barred effort to sell records. Nothing was out of bounds, including same-sex kisses and crotchless chaps. But while they were getting dirty, Mandy was staying squeaky clean.
Brittany and Christina are very sexual people and sexual artists, and that's how they're kind of portraying themselves to be. And I'm not that. Not to say that one is good or one is bad. This is just me.
Mandy gets it. She knows what sells.
I understand the distinction between just being sexual to be sexual or sexuality definitely driving the art. People push so hard for me to do that whole shocking thing because I haven't gone there yet. It's so easy to sell out. I'd rather have the challenge of doing something a little bit different and maybe a bit harder.
Rocking people.
On her fourth album, Coverage, Mandy is once again challenging herself with a collection of songs written before the performer was even born.
The whole point of making this record was to introduce this music to people my age who'd kind of written this music off as their parents' generation.
It's a project that she believes will connect on a level that's more than skin deep.
I love this record. I think it stands for itself. It's something different. Everything from the Cat Stevens, Joni Mitchell's, Elton John's of the world. People will definitely have, memories attached to this music.
At a time when labels are spending millions to spoil artists with tricked-out recording studios, Mandy again struck out on her own, opting for the down-to-earth vibe of her producer's garage.
This is a studio I did the whole record and the whole Coverage record.
Yeah! Why can I not do a simple yeah? One more. Oh, yeah. No, I don't hit it.
Remember, Rock and Roll Man? It was like the highest note of the song.
Man! Time for lunch break.
Mandy Moore's attitude in the studio is a lot like her attitude in life. Work hard, but have a little fun along the way. And for a 19-year-old, fun means shopping.
I haven't been back there before. Do they have new kids on the block?
As she browses at one of her favorite vintage boutiques in Hollywood, no one bothers her and she likes to keep it that way.
It's Elton John. What is he wearing on his head? But it's Paul Abdul and Color Me Bad. How about Wham? 1985 Kenny Rogers World Tour with the beard and oh, yes. I got some t-shirts from my dad, from my brothers, and I got a couple for Andy too. It was a successful trip here. I don't want everything that I wear to kind of be deciphered and picked apart. I like my life as it is right now. I want to be able to walk with no makeup on and go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee without, like, people taking pictures and stuff.
But these days, Mandy is becoming a hot commodity and the press is taking aim. It's not just the records and movies that have her name in lights. Nope, it's a budding romance.
Love is great. Love is... it's just nothing is bad in the world, and I'm very lucky that I'm in a relationship with someone that I have so much respect for.
Since coming clean about her love affair with tennis superstar Andy Roddick, she's been besieged by the press.
We dated for a good 8-9 months before people really cared about us. People didn't care. People didn't take pictures. People didn't stop us.
The picture-perfect couple kept their relationship under wraps for as long as they could. But a big win for Andy at the 2003 U.S. Open blew their cover.
Andy Roddick, the new American Grand Slam champion, going to find his girlfriend.
It's almost like this automatic push from people like, okay, well, it's out in the open now. We have free reign to ask whatever we want. We have free reign to take pictures.
With her peers answering everything from how they lost their virginity to revealing all on their own TV shows, Mandy finds herself safeguarding the couple's most intimate details.
No one needs to know what our pet names are for each other. That's for me and him. People feel like you owe it to them Like, you're in this business, you've admitted that you're dating, you owe it to us to answer any question that we put in front of you.
And Mandy's answer? A polite buzz off.
I've stopped answering questions. He has stopped answering questions. I don't want to have some huge, big, high-profile romance in every tabloid magazine. The more that you let on to people, the more they want to know, and it becomes this vicious cycle, and so I've kind of started to learn to keep my mouth shut.
Coming up, Mandy takes VH1 inside her whirlwind workout.
Welcome to my life at the gym.
5, up 4.
No laughing, I'm terrible at all this.
And bears it all on not bearing it all.
I don't feel like I need to do that for my art. I'm not willing to compromise that.
Then later, Mandy fights to keep the paparazzi from invading her life.
I realized that I was opening my legs up and there was this camera.
When All Access Spotlight, Mandy Moore continues.
It's Mandy. I'm here at the Warner Brothers lot in LA, going to do some ADR for my new film. I'm gonna pump up all the screams. It's actually not that much fun. I feel like a big geek when I'm doing it.
Anna, 2, 1, take 1.
Ah! Sounds like so much fun, I can't wait!
Mandy Moore is re-recording some of her dialogue to get the performance picture perfect.
Anna, 2-5, take 3.
Wow! Wow! Nerdy! That is so nerdy. Hurry! Hurry! They're chasing us!
I think I'm a little more freaked out here. I think it gets more playful, obviously, as you get on and having fun. But right now, you just really want to
get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. Get away from me! Ah! I'm giving myself a heart attack. All right, well, I got the scream.
Hollywood producers believe this 19-year-old can single-handedly carry a film. It's further proof that this crossover phenomenon has already accomplished more in her teens than most people do in a lifetime.
If someone would have pulled me aside 4.5, 5 years ago and said, this is what your life is going to consist of, and at 19 years old, this is where you're going to be, I would have laughed.
While most teens her age are watching movies, Mandy is making movies. She spent the summer of '03 making Chasing Liberty.
Could you please help me get out of here?
Yeah, why not?
It's just a regular old love story about falling in love for the first time and being disillusioned, all the while trying to figure out who you are and what life is all about.
Sounds pretty close to Mandy's real life, except for one major difference.
I want to swim naked in the Danube!
The script called for the performer's character to go skinny dipping. But don't get excited, the skin you see isn't hers.
I had to pick a butt double, someone that was going to be shot completely naked from behind, and I didn't feel comfortable going anywhere near that. So I was very thankful that there was someone out there who was willing to do that for me.
Because Mandy wasn't. This actress is not going to get naked if there's a camera anywhere near her.
I'm confident that I will never do a movie with any nudity. I don't feel like I need to do that for my art. I'm not willing to compromise that.
Despite her ethical boundaries, Mandy has no trouble finding work on the big screen. She's becoming one of Hollywood's hottest young actresses. Her first movie was The Princess Diaries. Her second was the award-winning A Walk to Remember.
And the best breakthrough female is Mandy Moore.
Ever so much. This is truly an honor. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Being a movie star has made Mandy an even hotter property. And with that heat comes high-profile photo shoots and steamy expectations.
Why not? Why not be the magazine that has, made Mandy take her top off or something? It's like, absolutely not. Oh! You'll show up at a photo shoot and they'll have itty-bitty little mini skirts and 6-inch heels and little bra tops. Sexy is, in my mind, leaving something to the imagination. Being confident is sexy.
That I don't like.
VH1 got exclusive access to one of Mandy's private fittings.
It's classy, but it's funky.
Try this.
Oh, it's only $9,600.
We saw firsthand how she works with her personal stylist to carefully craft her wardrobe and her image.
I think plain black, sexy, very tailored. Well, I like how pointed these are. I love it. Welcome to my life at the gym.
Even though she keeps her body under wraps, this media darling has to stay in great shape for her demanding schedule.
No laughing, I'm terrible at all this.
5, up, 4, 3, long arms, 2 more, 10, 4 more, and I hate running. Doesn't matter, you still do it anyway.
I'm not your friend anymore.
No.
But for Mandy, even something as personal as a workout can turn into a public spectacle. She was working out one day when she noticed 2 women loitering nearby.
I saw these girls who had a camera. She was holding a camera in her arm, and she kind of had her shirt or a jacket kind of wrapped around, so it was just the lens that was exposed, and you didn't see the camera, but I spotted it.
Mandy confronted the paparazzi, but it was too late. The unauthorized photos landed in People magazine.
But when I saw a picture of me in there, I was like, oof, that's terrible. I can't believe a magazine would buy that. Nothing like that's ever happened to me before.
This rising star is learning the hard way that fame has its costs.
I don't want it to get out of hand like that, where you're constantly having to approach people who are looking at you and taking pictures. That's just, that's not a way to live.
But it is a fact of life when you're a 19-year-old crossover superstar in a high-profile romance.
I'm so hyper right now.
Coming up, Mandy battles her nerves as showtime approaches.
Oh, who's nervous?
Then the private side of a very public woman.
I want to have a family. I want to get married. There's so many things that just interest me in this world.
When All Access Spotlight, Mandy Moore continues.
We were talking to each other till dawn.
What is it that has Mandy saying enough is enough? Log on to vh1.com to find out. From movie premieres to star-studded concerts, Mandy Moore is showing up at some of today's biggest red carpet events. Tonight, she's preparing to perform at Women Rock, a benefit for breast cancer in Hollywood. She'll be sharing the stage with legendary performers like Bonnie Raitt and Dolly Parton. It's 2 hours before the big show, and while thousands fill the hall, this rising star is back at the hotel fighting a bad case of the butterflies.
I'm so hyper right now.
She's opening the show.
Nervous excitement.
Well, Mandy, look, you have a choice. You can do black. I'd almost do black.
All right, do black, do black.
All right, we got 10 minutes, people.
Obviously, because I have to change.
We're gonna do we're doing press right after she gets off stage.
Despite all her hard work, Mandy still struggles with the pressure of pleasing her harshest critic, herself.
I'm a perfectionist, and I'm my own worst critic. So, nothing's ever good enough for me.
As she leaves the hotel, her natural instincts take over and her confidence returns.
I have an entourage. I never have an entourage.
Mandy knows she's living a life most people can only dream about, but she's not willing to surrender control to stay on top.
I like having the authority, I like having the control, and I like having the kahunas to just say, I'm putting my foot down. It's me at the end of the day out there. You have to understand that.
The trappings of fame aside, Mandy says her success in showbiz does not define who she is.
I love what I'm doing right now, but I don't know if I'm going to feel that way forever. But I also know I want to have a family, and I want to get married, and I want to live outside of this business. There's so many things that just interest me in this world, so if I can balance doing an album every couple of years or a film every year or whatnot and be able to do all that other stuff that I want to do too, I'd be very happy.
But right now, Mandy's on top of her game and behind schedule.
There she is. I'm getting Mandy right now over to the theaters.
As she makes her way to the venue, there's no time to look too far into the future. She's got a show to do.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Women Rock.
Just another day in the life of a superstar.
so happy with how my life is right at this very moment. I wouldn't want anything to change. But I also know that there's so much to get done, there's so much I have yet to accomplish and yet to do. At this point, I don't see the finish line.
Okay, I'm about to go into a meeting and you can't follow me anymore. It's over, it's done, but I've had a good time. Bye, VH1.
30 seconds for all of this?
Yeah, why don't you just give it a try?
Okay. VH1 Big in 2003. A year in celebration of the biggest stars, sounds, scenes, and Sunday, November 30th. With performances by a good old boy from Detroit, a country girl from another country, two total outsiders, a band that doesn't play with Hot Wheels, and a hip-hop rocker from another planet. And appearances by the big... There's no way this list is gonna fit.